Hey everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. So glad you could join me today. We're back in the kitchen, you know, my favorite spot to be. We're cooking again. We're gonna do a little meal prep. I've got some great recipes for you, and again, still bringing the flavor in 2023. That's my slogan this year, and bringing nutrition and healthy eating. That's what we're all about. I have a new saying, being healthy and happy in 2023. And I'm going to be putting that more on my blog too, by the way. So if you guys don't know, I have a blog, and it'll be down below. You can find it, and you can head all over there. I have some recipes. I have some of my travel recipes over there, my travel blog. So when I travel, different places, I'll show you where I eat and what I do. Anyway, so I have a few things over there, and that's just getting going. So, you know, head over there. And don't forget, we also have a Facebook group. If you want to join that in, go and join that. Love to have you. Just come on over. We'll welcome you with open hands, open arms. And don't forget to say hi when you're there and start sharing whatever you're eating. So if you're new here, again, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to scooch on over and hit that little bell icon so you're notified when these videos go up. So I try to eat, obviously I eat a vegan diet, always oil-free. I do my best to do oil-free all the time and following the starch solution. I'm trying to move every day, eat oil-free, and lower my cholesterol. So if that interests you, stick around. We got some great meals for you today. We're going to be doing saffron infused Moroccan stew, which is awesome, very quick, super easy, and delicious. And I'm going to be doing baked pancake sheet pancakes this week. Strawberry, just decided that was going to be, it's almost spring here, got to bring in the strawberries. I love strawberries, so that's the other thing. And just a few things about kind of what I do during the weekend, how I get meal prep ready, and I'll insert a few things for you. Anyway, let's get into the kitchen and let's get started with what we do, what I'm doing this week. So the first thing I wanted to start with this week is I actually wanted to get some sprouts going. So if you don't know how to sprout or do sprouting, I love sprouts because they are the highest packed full of nutrients thing that you can kind of consume. So you can get these sprouts, get them on Amazon, they're super easy, and they actually take nothing. Now you can get a little sprouting tub or whatever, a little sprouting system. You can go ahead and do that, but you really actually don't need that. You can get an even simpler system, and I'm going to show you what you need. You need a mason jar, and that's all you need. The lid for the mason jar without the little thing in the middle, and you just need a little screen, and that's it. Super simple. Again, you can get the whole sprouting system. Go on Amazon, they have some wonderful sprouting systems, and I have considered getting those, but this system is so cheap. It's so easy. So let me show you how we're gonna start some sprouts this week. So all you need to do is get your sprouting seeds, and they come in different varieties. You can get alfalfa. This is like a starter seed package kind of thing. It has alfalfa and a couple of other sprouts in it. You can get broccoli, which is really good too. That actually has like the highest. And you're just going to take, you're going to sterilize, make sure you have a sterilized jar. And you're just going to take the amount of seeds that you want. And it doesn't take a lot of seeds. So this is about half a tablespoon of seeds, and that's more than enough for this jar. You don't want to overcrowd them. You're going to take some fresh water. You're going to pour it over your seeds. Now, the first step, and then you're going to put your mesh on top, and you're going to screw on your lid. And now for this part, you're going to let these sit for about 6 to 8 hours just on your countertop. So after they've sat for 6 hours, you're going to drain them. You're going to rinse them with fresh water again. And then you just shake them, make sure they're sitting evenly, and then you're just going to let them sit on your countertop. They don't need to be around any sun or anything. And you're going to rinse and drain twice a day, once in the morning, once at night. You always want to make sure that when you drain them sufficiently. You can always leave them kind of tilted on your counter to make sure that the excess water drains off. You don't want them sitting in a pile of water. You just want them to be moistened. And that's it. Super simple. So I'm gonna let these ones sit for 6 hours. I'll drain them, rinse them again with some fresh water, and then let them sit on my counter. And in about 7 days, I'm gonna have delicious sprouts for my salads, my sandwiches. I love sprouts on sandwiches. They just add so much. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna use a little bit of our stock, and we're gonna add that. Next is our onion. And our garlic. We're gonna saute that down. Red bell pepper and green bell pepper. We're gonna cook this for 5 to 6 minutes until the peppers and the onions have softened. Now we're not using any oil, so as things cook down, make sure that you're just adding a little bit more stock so it doesn't burn. Now that our vegetables are getting tender, we're going to add in a little bit of coconut sugar, our spices, and we want to bloom our spices with a little bit of juice that's in there. Our saffron, of course, because it's saffron. And a little bit of saffron goes a long way. I know saffron can be expensive. It's one of the most expensive spices out there. Oh, it smells so good. And don't forget, the recipe will be down below, guys. I always put it down there for you. And then we're going to grate in some ginger. So if you haven't been here before, I always keep my ginger in the freezer. That way you always have fresh ginger, and then I just grate it as I need it. It grates so much easier frozen. There we go. And then just pop that back in the freezer and you're all set to go for next time. Just gonna let that cook down a little bit. Again, let those spices bloom. Oh. Now we're gonna add in our sweet potato, our tomatoes, and our chickpeas. Give that a nice stir. Make sure everybody's in the pool having a good time. We're just going to bring this up to a boil, and then we're just going to lower the temperature and let it simmer until the potatoes are nice and tender. We're going to adjust with salt and pepper at the end. I always wait for the salt, especially with the tomatoes and everything, just to let them cook down and kind of get all happy in there. And then I'll adjust with the salt and pepper at the end. So our stew is all ready. Everything is nice and tender. I'm just going to finish it off with a little cornstarch slurry, which is just a tablespoon of cornstarch and a little bit of water. And I just want to thicken up the sauce just ever so slightly. I think this would be great too, served over cauliflower rice would be great. And again, I don't want the sauce super thick. Sometimes it depends on your canned tomatoes. I think mine were just extra watery. If you use crushed tomatoes, you probably wouldn't need, maybe not need the slurry. There we go. Look how beautiful that is. It tastes so good. The smell in my house is to die for. With the cinnamon and the cayenne, it has a nice little kick to it. The first part to making our sheet pan pancakes is going to be our milk. We want to curdle it a little bit to make, you know, vegan buttermilk. I'm using almond. You could use whatever plant-based milk you have. Put this in a container. I need a little bit more than my cup will hold. And we're just going to add some apple cider vinegar to that. Give it a stir. And then you're just going to put that aside for about 10 minutes. Next, we're going to get our sheet pan ready. If you use spray, that's fine. This is like a non-stick pan, but I'm actually going to use some parchment paper. Crumple it up. That actually helps it kind of stick into the pan a little bit better. It's not trying to escape all the time. Just make sure it's kind of in the corners. It's going to come all the way up on the sides a little bit. It's just going to make it a little bit easier to take them out. Now in our bowl, we're going to add in our sugar and our baking powder. And again, the recipe will be down below, guys. No worries. This recipe comes together super quickly. Our flour. And you could use a gluten-free blend here if you'd like. It works relatively well. Give that a quick toss. Now, because we're not using any oil, I'm actually going to add half a banana just to add some extra moisture. You could also use applesauce, whatever you want. I just don't have any applesauce at the moment. So a banana it is. And we're just going to mash that down. Obviously, the riper, the better. And because it's just half a banana, you're not even going to taste this. And then to our banana, we're going to add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla. So now let's put everything together. Just before we do that, I'm going to add a few other, my last ingredients, which is a little bit of cinnamon. I love cinnamon and everything. And some lemon zest. Just to give it that bright flavor with the strawberries, I think would be lovely. And add in our banana. Now you should have your oven preheated to 425. And now we're going to add in our milk. So almond milk doesn't curdle as well as soy milk because soy milk has more protein, but that's okay. And then we're just going to mix this. And it's okay if you have some lumps. Lumps are okay. They'll bake out. Now just pour in your pancake mix. So the great thing about baked pancakes is you don't have to stand over a griddle making one pancake at a time. And these are great all week. Just spread that out. They're going to puff up when we cook them. Now we're just going to put in our strawberries. Just kind of poke them down. Now that we have all the strawberries in, we're just going to bake this at 425 for about 15 minutes until it puffs up and it's golden brown.